Hello everyone, Adrian here again. This is gonna be not really a comic book video or really a mental health video. It's just more or less gonna be a vlog, and this is gonna be entitled "Things I Hate About Pharmacy School." Don't get me wrong, I love the material, I love learning about it. It's really super interesting, but there are just some things that I just plain hate about pharmacy school, and this can apply to even college students as well. So that was just the video, things that I hate about pharmacy school. And maybe I'll make one that says things I love about pharmacy school, but who knows. And I'm wearing a Cubs hat because they were actually pretty good this year. Just so short. And I guess one of the things that I hate about pharmacy school, the facilities. At least in my pharmacy school, the facilities are not the greatest, I will say. And oh my god, the lecture classrooms are just, with the exception of one lecture classroom, they are so freaking crowded. And cramped. You know what I'm saying? It's like sitting in a theater. If you had to go use the bathroom, and if you're sitting in the center, it's like, oh, you had to go use the bathroom, or you had to get up for anything. You pretty much are gonna be bumping into people and waving your butt in their face, because that's how freaking crowded it is. It's freaking terrible. You know what I mean? It's with the exception of one lecture room, but that is ridiculous, and you have no maneuverability. And not just that too, but there are certain things like maybe something will be broken, it will be broken for months. It won't get fixed right away, and little things like that, like there's not outlets in the floor where they should be outlets for laptops. That's another thing that's kind of annoying. Sometimes you'll find roaches in like the bathrooms, or like the basements in the lower levels of the floor, which just, come on guys, it's like, really, seriously? So the facilities. I need a list because otherwise I'm going to forget. 2. Dumb exam questions. And when I say dumb exam questions, this can pretty much apply to everything. I mean, exam questions that when you go and look at the exam, and it pretty much, you read the question, and the question just completely disobeys every rule of grammar you could possibly imagine. Like, sentence fragment, worded in the worst possible way you can word, prepositions are not preposition, punctuation is, every rule of grammar you can read that is known to man is just broken in that question. And you look at it and you're just like, what the hell? Questions like that, that's like a paragraph, that's not a paragraph, that's like half a page long, and then the answer is a half a page long, and here's the trick. The answer, and you have to decide which one is true and which one is false, and out of all these questions, but one of the answers that you have to see which one is false or true, only one little tiny thing is changed, like a symbol or one word, that makes it not false, that makes it incorrect. And after reading like an entire half a page of a question and other answers that are half a page as well, it's really hard to tell and look and see which word is making that thing incorrect. So that's the other thing that I hate. And the dumb questions like that, and other questions where like, get the most correct answer. Let's see, I can start this guy in a beta blocker, but I can also use a calcium channel blocker. Both of them are relevant, both of them work. But oh wait, it's better to use a beta blocker, but so you're going to get that wrong. But both of them are valid. In the real world, both of them would be valid. Questions like that. So dumb exam questions, ugh. What else is there? Learning stuff that we're never going to use. That's one of my biggest pet peeves that I hate. It's just learning crap that I know I'm never going to use in real life or in practice. It's just, it irritates me, You know what I mean? Especially when you're paying as much as you're paying for pharmacy school and you're learning stuff that's not going to be useful. It's like, why are we forcing us to learn stupid things? It's one of those where I just like roll my eyes, and it makes me not care. You know what I mean? Like in PDAT, therapeutic classes, it's like, oh, I love those because I'm learning what I want to know, how to treat heart failure and all this good stuff. It's just, But, when you learn stuff that you don't ever use, it's incredibly stupid. It's like, for example, it's like, okay, here's this drug, it's based on cholesterol, okay, I get it. But here's the alpha bond. This is an alpha bonded here and a beta bonded there. and here's the stereochemistry, and I'm just doing this like, why in the hell do we need to know this? It's like, and I'm just thinking, remember the time that the pharmacist told the patient that, and when the pharmacist was running with doctors, when he recommended a drug, or he or she recommended a drug to the doctor, the pharmacist told that doctor, hey, it's because of the stereochemistry and the alpha bond here. You remember when that happened? No! No one remembers what that happened. No one remembers that because pharmacists don't say and do that because it's useless. I mean, it really is only useful if you're going into research or drug discovery, which my next point is if you're going to force it to learn dumb stuff like that, you might as well make it an elective and call it drug discovery. Make it something else. Don't force it, don't throw it into a main class. So, that's a big one. And the other one is, and this is the last one, is the politics. I just cannot just stand the politics like that. That's why I'm not a politician. The politics. And when I say politics, I mean normal school bureaucratic politics and social politics. I just, you could just tell by, my expression. I'm just like, ugh. Like the politics of the bureaucracy that is school, like, having to jump through all those dumb hoops and, the standard jumping through all the hoops, even if those jumping through those hoops don't make a whole lot of sense and those policies don't really make a lot of sense and it pretty much goes against common sense. That stuff like that, it's like, I assume it's everywhere, and it's like, okay, I just don't care for it. Some of them do make sense, but a good chunk don't. So that stuff is like, And then the social politics, which happens everywhere too, but it's just very disappointing when you see people that, do some of the things that they do and politician the way that they do. You know what I mean? It just always breaks my heart and disappointing. Like, wow, that kind of changes things the way I see this person. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm not a politician, and I never will be. You know what I mean? I just don't think I could look myself in the mirror if I was. And it's just, the way it works, at least in my school, it's just like, if someone doesn't like you, they won't say that they don't like you. They'll pretty much have their nice little group of friends. They'll come around with their group of friends, and they'll label you as unprofessional. That's like code for I don't like him or I don't like what he did. And you know what I mean? They'll say unprofessional. And when you're someone like me who's very unique and out there, you tend to not go along with the flow of other people. You don't really fit into that flow. You don't fit into any box, any peg at all. You're your own thing. There's only one of you. That's me. And so that happens a good chunk for me. Like, I do things and I pretty much act and do things that other people don't act and do. And it gets labeled as unprofessional. And it's because that person doesn't like me. You know what I mean? And because of that, it's not just that too, but if someone labels you as unprofessional or you do something that someone doesn't like and they label you that, they could pretty much will convince their friends of that you're unprofessional. And because of that, you'll be like excluded from things. You'll be excluded from like going to certain events and from getting voted in and from maybe taking a position on like an e-board or which is like, a position in an organization. You'll pretty much essentially just be excluded from any of that stuff. You'll pretty much not get in. And you know what I'm saying? And that's the social politics that I just don't like. It's just really, guys, like, come on. Really, it's, and I've seen it happen before. And that's the one thing that really kind of it makes me do one of these, like, just shake my head. Like, really, guys? Just because someone does something you don't like, it doesn't mean they're unprofessional. Like, if they curse someone out in front of everyone, and yes, I would see that. But a lot of times, no one does that. So it's stuff like that. I just don't care for the social politics. And again, and of course, there are the cliques too that I don't care about too, where you try to talk to someone and they'll like, and if they're in their little group of people, nothing else exists. Like, you'll say, hey, how are you doing? They'll completely ignore you. And like, they'll just like, do that thing. They'll like completely ignore you. You don't exist. They'll brush you off. And that's the other thing that I just dislike, that social politics, like the cliquey people that, they're in their little group and you don't exist. No one else exists except that little group. Like, and for the most part, there's not a whole lot for the most part. A good chunk of people do it, but there are a few that even when they're in the little cliques, they will come up to you and say hello to you, and they will talk to you, which I really like those people. And there you go. Those are the things that I hate about pharmacy school. There's the facilities, Dumb exam questions, learning stuff you don't know, and the politics, both bureaucratic from the school itself and from the students, the social politics. And that was the things I hate about politics, about school, about pharmacy school. So if anyone, wants to comment, please feel free to leave a comment if you kind of have similar experiences or hate some of the stuff about why your school. And if anyone that I know are watching this, just you leave a comment or talk to me. Bye bye.